So when sales of 2 years and profits for 2 years are given, how do we calculate the BEP? Simple. First calculate the PV ratio, and then using PV ratio formula calculate the fixed cost, and then you can substitute the BEP using the PV ratio. So here our basically, because we have not given with sales, we are not given with variable cost, you cannot use the contribution. So our BEP is equal to fixed cost divided by PV ratio. Right? Yes or no? So now to calculate BEP, we require fixed cost and PV ratio. So first let's calculate PV ratio so that we can easily calculate even the fixed cost. PV ratio is equal to
change in profit divided by change in
change
sales.
in profit. Why we are using this formula? Because the profit is given and the sales is given for 2 different periods. So change in profit divided by change in sales into 100. So here the change in profit is how much? From 4 lakh in the period 1, second period it's going to be 12,000. So from 4,000 it is increased to 12,000. So what is the change you have? 8,000. 8,000 divided by change in sales. From 1,50,000 it has increased to 1,20,000. So it is how much increase? 40,000 into 100.
20%
is equal to 20%. To calculate BEP, you require fixed cost and PV ratio. You have calculated the PV ratio. Now you need to calculate fixed cost. So again, we use the PV ratio formula to calculate the fixed cost. So you can, as fixed cost is not given, we can use the PV ratio formula to calculate the fixed cost. So we have got the PV ratio, let's substitute it. How do we take the profit and sales they have given for 2 years? So you can consider either for the first period or you can consider for the second period. You get back the same fixed cost because fixed cost remains the same. So PV ratio calculated is 20% equal to fixed cost is what we need plus profit of first year is 4,000 divided by sales of the first year is 1,50,000. So by cross multiplying, you get 20% of 1,50,000 minus 4,000 is equal to your fixed cost. So fixed cost is equal to 20% of 1,50,000. How much?
40,000.
40,000 minus 30,000. 30,000 minus
4,000.
4,000. I hope the calculation is correct. FC is equal to
26.
30 minus 4,000.
26,000.
26,000. So you got your fixed cost as 26,000 and your PV ratio is 20%. So you can calculate your BEP now. So BEP, when this is the case, that is when sales of 2 years and profit of 2 years are given, we won't be able to calculate BEP in units. We will be calculating BEP only in rupees, and we have only one formula, that is fixed cost divided by PV ratio. So fixed cost is 26,000 divided by PV ratio is 20%. You get back your BEP. So how much is your BEP? Rupees?
1,30,000.
Pardon?
1,30,000, I guess.
30.
3.
BEP is 1,30,000. Is it clear? Should I revise it again? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
You want me to revise it again?
Yes, ma'am.
See, when sales for 2 years and profit for 2 years is given, the formula to calculate BEP is going to be fixed cost divided by PV ratio. So to calculate BEP, you need to calculate fixed cost and PV ratio separately and then substitute the values. So PV ratio is equal to change in profit divided by change in sales, because we have only sales and only profit. So when you substitute, that is the difference in the profits from period 1 to period 2 is 8,000. And the difference in sales from period 1 to period 2 is said to be 40,000. Remember, there could be a loss as well. I will take up a problem on loss in the next class. So into 100. So when we simplify this, you get 20%. We express always ratios in terms of percentage. As we have PV ratio, with the help of PV ratio formula, we can calculate fixed cost, because fixed cost is not given in this problem. So we use this formula, PV ratio is equal to fixed cost plus profit, the whole divided by sales. Now when as we need fixed cost, we are going to make the algebraic equation, the knowns to one side and the unknowns to the other side. Either you can first remove it, bring it to an equation, and then you can separate it, or you can substitute and then you can separate. Here we have substituted first. PV ratio is 20%. Now we have profit of 2 years and sales of 2 years. You might wonder which year should I take. You can take any years, okay, because we are calculating fixed cost. But generally we are taking the first years or the first period profit and sales. The first period profit is 4,000 and the first period sales amounts to 1,50,000. So 20% into, when I simplify this, 20% into 1,50,000 minus 4,000 gives me my fixed cost. So fixed cost is equal to 20% of 1,50,000 is 30,000 minus 4,000, your fixed cost is 26,000. So you have got PV ratio and you have got fixed cost. And now you can substitute these two values into the BEP formula. So BEP formula is fixed cost divided by PV ratio. So fixed cost is 26,000, PV ratio is 20%. When I divide it and simplify, I'm getting BEP in rupees 1,30,000. I hope it is clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.